Oh,
Sorry I'm late.
well, you're fine. Sorry, I was finishing my breakfast.
That's okay.
Well, I'm not sure anybody else is coming, so I would love to cater this more to what you're hoping to get out of it.
But what I would like, cleaning and keeping things organized with kids is
Awful.
awful. So I would love to figure out ways to get them involved and keep them involved instead of
Okay.
standing over them and be like, now we're doing this. This is the time for this. We're doing this.
Hmm.
Have you done this?
Yeah.
Where do you put this?
Fair. Um, I have some thoughts about that. Question for you. I put a handout in the chat. Does that show up for you, or do I need to put it up again? Or have I sent it to you? I might have sent it to you before.
I got it.
Oh, you got it.
How to get your brain to play nicely with others.
Yeah.
I
Um,
got it.
so that's more general, like neurodivergent, organizing, understanding kind of stuff. But speaking to more to you to getting kids to help, are you talking about like cleaning their own rooms or like helping out, like cleaning up the living room? What are you kind of?
Uh, all of the above would be a delight,
Okay.
but preferably their own room is their own room.
Uh-huh.
So if it was something like a shared space, that would be great.
Okay.
What
So,
I've heard and I've tried using, it just doesn't seem to get the result I want, but maybe it's just something I have to work more on. Is say last night we were all trying to get dinner ready and I was going, oh, the table is so messy. Can we each find one thing that doesn't belong there and put it away? And
mhm,
that's just starting to train their brains to notice
yeah.
things.
Uh-huh.
So far, it still needs me to instigate it.
Yeah. And part of that is just your kids are young and they're going to need those reminders. Um, but part of it too is like the more you do that, and it does take a little while, the more you do that, the more they start noticing, hey, this is a thing. So one thing that's really good for neurodivergent kids, for kids in general, is having a routine with what they're doing. So saying every day when we're making dinner, we're doing this thing. And so it starts being part of their brain. And it sounds like you're doing some of that already of like, hey, check the table. Um, but also putting some sort of reward on that, which I'm always generally opposed to rewards, but sometimes adding something there gives them that like external validation until they build the internal validation of, hey, I learned how to do this and I do this now. So, and it doesn't even have to be like, here's a candy every time you do something good. It can be like, here's a high five, here's a things like that to like to praise them and to get them more building that positive self-talk of, hey, I can do the things. But
Which I tried to do. Am I great at it? Probably not, because it is me.
well, I think it's hard. I don't think, at least for me growing up, my mom wasn't good at that. Um, and so like I have to retrain my brain to be like, no, like these things that we're working on, these are good things. We're making good progress, whether or not it looks like what somebody else thinks it should look like. Building some sort of routine in there that's even, um, how do I say that? Even like before, because it's really hard to be like, I'm cooking dinner and monitoring kids as they're cleaning up and like that gets overwhelming to our brains as adults, right? It's like I just want to focus on one thing and I can't focus on all the things.
It's really hard shifting your attention.
Yeah. Um, do you guys have like an Alexa or anything like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, when my kids were little, we would set like alarms every day at a certain time and be like, okay, at this time, this is what you're supposed to do. And that helped them get more motivated to do it. And you can do alarms that like play a specific music or whatever.
Ah.
Um, looks like we got somebody else here too. Hi, how are you? Is it Colton?
Yeah.
Hi.
Um, hey, s- sorry,
Hello.
Audrey just told me about this meeting and
Oh, cool.
just said that I might be interested. So I didn't really know what I was getting into.
Oh, okay. We were talking more one-on-one, me and Christine, because it was just us here, but I will um, switch over and kind of talk a little bit more about neurodivergent organizing and stuff like that. I assume because Audrey invited you that you're somewhere neurodivergent. I don't want to assume, so I want to ask.
Yeah, no, that's true. Uh-huh.
Okay, perfect. And your what kind of things do you struggle with in organizing? Christine and I were just talking about how she struggles organizing, helping her kids to get involved in things, but interested to know kind of where you struggle with things as well, so we can discuss a little bit more.
As far as organization goes, um, I don't know, just like keeping my things tidy,
Mhm.
my room, like
Yeah,
my workspace, my car.
yeah,
Uh, I feel very disorganized, and I'd say that's probably one of the biggest ones.
yeah. Okay. Um, I'm going to drop something in the chat that might be helpful to you. And it's something that talks about why we struggle with organizing as neurodivergent people. Me personally, I have ADHD and I suspect that I'm somewhere on the autism spectrum as well. Um, everybody in my family is somewhere neurodivergent. And so I've spent a long time kind of researching all the things to be like, hi, why do we struggle so much? Why are the things that I struggle with different from the things that other people struggle with in organizing and in neurodivergence? And the fact of the matter is we're all a little bit different, right? In how we're um, organizing things or how we want to do it, or if we want to do it. Some of us don't even think, hey, I should do that. Um, or we don't know what we don't know. And a lot of more neurotypical people don't struggle as much with that because things like routines, creating routines are a lot easier for neurotypical brains, where our neurodivergent brains sometimes struggle with that, struggle with keeping things up. They say, oh, if once you do something every day for 3 weeks, in neurodivergence or in neurotypical people, once you do something every day for 3 weeks, it becomes a habit. Where that's not really the case with neurodivergent people. Like sometimes it just never becomes a habit. Like you could brush your teeth every day for forever and still have to consciously think, hey, I have to go brush my teeth now. Um, so a lot of what I like to talk about is creating routines to help you or to help people stay organized, to help people remember, hey, I need to straighten up my room. I need to do this. Christina and I were talking about getting her kids involved in kind of the cleanup process, um, and noticing that these are the things that need to get cleared up, because sometimes our brains just filter it out. Is that something, I guess I should ask, what kind of things you said you struggle with keeping your room, your workspace in general, clean and tidy. Um, what do you find that makes that difficult for you?
I'm not sure. I guess like I just don't feel like I'm in the habit of putting something where it goes, or like
Mhm.
sometimes there's not a place for that I have for everything.
Yeah,
Um,
perfect. Um, and definitely having a space for things is something that's when I'm not teaching classes, I often am working with people finding places for the things. So it's easy just to be like, okay, this has to go back there. Um, but that's not something everybody's always interested in. So I teach classes so people can do it themselves. And one thing that I think can be beneficial to both of you is finding something that you're already doing and adding on the straightening of the space. So that could look like, hey, I'm making dinner. So that triggers me triggering the kids to help clean up the dinner table. Or I just got home, or I'm going to work. I have a few extra minutes. I'm going to clean up my space that I got messy while getting ready for the day, put it back the way it's supposed to be so it's clean when I come back to use it again. Or doing that in the evening. I've done all the things. I'm getting ready for bed. I'm going to take 10 minutes, spend some time to set things up or to get things put back away. Um, and initially, that always takes a little bit more time to set it up to consciously remind ourselves to do those things. Sometimes doing things like setting a timer also is beneficial for me. If I don't think, hey, I have these things to do, I'm never just going to be like, oh, I should go straighten up the bathroom, or I never think, oh, I'm going to. I guess that's not true. I do frequently think, oh, I should clean my bedroom, but then it's where you're finding the time, right?
It's
Uh,
just on the list of things you have to do.
yeah,
Another place going, oh yeah, got to remember to do that. Got to remember to do that.
uh-huh. Um, and our brains don't always do great at remembering the things. So having external reminders in some way, whether that's setting a reminder on your phone or actively reminding yourself, okay, I'm doing this thing, and when I do this thing, I'm going to do this thing as well. It can be beneficial. Um, for a while, I did really well at washing my face, but not so much brushing my teeth because I enjoyed the washing my face and not the brushing my teeth. And then I had to like hook them together and be like, okay, every time I do this, I also have to do this um, to help create those habits. Um, and that's important. All of our brains work differently. Both of you, or I guess Colton, were you able to see the handout that I put in the chat?
oh no, I haven't looked at it.
Okay. You don't have to. It's something that can be beneficial. It kind of breaks down different reasons of why we struggle to get organized, different things our brains do in different. I looked mostly at autism, ADHD, and OCD to pull the different struggles when I created that, but it has a lot of um, these are things that my brain do and brain does. And a lot of times we don't even think, oh, hey, this is different than maybe what other people are experiencing. Um, we kind of know our own world and not anybody else's, right? And so having that basis to look at it and say, okay, these are things that I need, and here's solutions for them is kind of
Okay.
helpful. Um,
I don't see it in the chat.
oh, did
Is
I?
it somewhere else?
It's in the chat, but it, oh, let me try again. So finding systems that work for us, that work for you, is important to be able to make things happen, right? And
Can I ask you a question? When
oh yeah, for sure.
kind of about what you were talking about. So when you said like you did wash your face because you liked to, but didn't really brush your teeth because you that's something that you didn't enjoy.
Uh-huh.
I think that's totally relatable about like, just not doing things you don't typically do or
Uh-huh.
typically like. What's kind of like your strategy for starting something that you don't necessarily want to do?
Hmm. That's a great question. Um, Sometimes I like to, one of the things that works really well for me is if I trick myself into starting. I say, I'm just going to do this one thing. Um, for instance, if I hate folding laundry. It's not my favorite thing. And for a while, I paired it with watching TV. And the only time that I would let myself watch TV is if I was folding laundry. So it's like I'm pairing this thing that I don't want to do with this thing that I do want to do. And then that helped me get through it. But then it didn't feel like I'm just sitting here folding laundry. It felt like I'm watching this show and also my hands are busy. Um, so finding things like that, sometimes also just saying, I'm going to do one thing, looking at the whole, like cleaning the whole room sometimes feels daunting, right? Do you ever experience that? You look at your room,
Yeah.
you're like, I don't even know where to start.
Yep.
Um, Sometimes what I'll do is I'll say, okay, I'm just going to do one thing. I'm just going to pick up the laundry, like pick up all the dirty laundry on the floor and put it in the hamper. And that's all I'm going to do. And a lot of times when I start with something like that, sometimes it's just like, that's what I got done and I got something done and that's great. And sometimes um, I look at it and I say, okay, I put away all the laundry. Finishing that task gave me some dopamine because that's part of the way our brains work. We do a thing, and then when we feel like we've done something, we get a little bit of dopamine. And sometimes that little bit of dopamine helps me say, okay, I got the laundry cleaned up. I can move on to the next thing. And I found that compartmentalizing, cleaning things up, and Christine, this helps, works a lot with kids with cleaning rooms as well. If instead of saying going and cleaning your room, you say go in and pick up all your clothes or pick up all your Legos or pick up like
Which
the
when
garbage.
I have done in the living room, the shared space is like, all
Oh,
right, this child, you're on books. You get to put
oh,
the book. This child, you're on blankets or something. And I
yeah,
have done that.
yeah.
But so far, it hasn't evolved.
Okay. They say I did the thing and that's all you get.
And that's
And
all I get. Or
sometimes
if
that's the way it goes.
table going back to the table is like, well, I put away the dishcloth, so therefore I am done. And it's like, well, we still need a space to eat, but
Yeah,
good job doing the dishcloth.
yeah. Well, and I think you said when you were talking earlier, you said like that you told them to pick up one thing each. And sometimes starting with one is great and then increasing that. So the next time you do it, say, hey, pick up three things from the table. Then it's not that you're increasing tasks, you're increasing the size of the task, and that's still doable. And that this can work for anything, for cleaning your room, for working through projects um, at work or things like that, that just starting somewhere usually begets a little bit more, hey, okay, I can move in this direction. Colton, did that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Okay. Perfect. Did you want me to go more in depth on something? Was there something?
I don't think so. I
Okay.
think that kind of answered my question. It's
Okay.
just kind of, from what I understand, a matter of breaking it down into something smaller and like more
Hmm.
manageable.
Yeah. How do you think that can help you in what you're doing or is that a helpful idea for what you're trying to accomplish?
Yeah, I do think that it's a helpful idea because, like, when I walk into my room or something, that I'm just like, there's so many different things that need to be done, and I'm
Hmm.
not sure how to do it all.
Hmm.
And so I think, like what you're saying, just get the laundry done, and
Yeah.
then like that will open up, and then probably from there, when I'm doing my laundry, I'll probably just figure out something else that just needs to be done, like,
Yeah.
just take out, I don't know, like any trash or something. But
Hmm.
it's like the first, taking care of the first layer kind of reveals the second one, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah. Sometimes it's also helpful, like you know what you have in your room, you know what things you need to do to clean it up to make it clean. And sometimes making a list of all of those tasks, saying, I need to do all of these things. Um, so you know all of the things that need to happen. You say, these are the steps to cleaning my room. This is something I did when my kids were a little bit bigger, Christine, but I wrote down okay, you're cleaning the bathroom. These are the steps to cleaning the bathroom. You got to get the stuff out. You got to wipe the toilet. You got to wipe the counter. You got to clean the mirror, whatever, all the things, right? And having that visual list also sometimes helps because sometimes we look at it, we're like, I don't even know, like I could start with whatever, but sometimes we get so distracted that having that list sometimes helps as well to be like, okay, we're doing this, and that's maybe something that our brain can focus on more till it's done and then move on. So that's
So first task is to get them to read.
you can also do it with pictures. Like that's where we started was with pictures.
Ah, all right.
Um, and sometimes having that too, like once you get to a bedroom clean and everything put away, take a picture of it so you know this is what this looks like. Then when they're cleaning their room, they can look at the picture and be like, "Oh, I still need to do this thing. Oh, I still need to do this thing," because I can um, see in the picture that it's something that needs doing.
That is a good idea. Because I often feel, with the rooms in particular, that my version of tidy is not theirs.
Yeah,
So that might be a good idea of going. I'd like it to be to this level
yeah,
of, of functionality.
hmm yeah. And as you're kind of creating that expectation, having an expectation of this is something that it has to look like this once a week, or maybe this is something that has to happen once a day, whatever that looks like. I know with my kids, they're a little bit older, but I make them sort of clean up their room, at least a baseline clean every day as part of getting through their chores. That's one of their chores is cleaning their room every day. And what that does is it helps them have that baseline clean. They know what that feels like. They have the space to pull out all the toys if they want to, but they also you don't have to step on toys as you walk across the room. They can find what they're looking for. Um, but that's not everybody does it that way. Some people do that once a week. My kid has to clean their room or something like that. Like you get to decide for yourself in your space how often you want to bring it back to a baseline. And you get to create those routines for yourself so that you can keep them clean and organized. For a lot of people, keeping it,
Normally, like it's just whenever I lose my mind, going, I cannot function in this space. We need a reset.
yeah,
Everybody. It's usually what happens.
yeah,
I'm baseline.
yeah. Um, but when you start creating these routines and have that external baseline of it's not just when everything's chaos and your brain's like, I can't even think because I'm so shut down, I don't even know what to do, or I'm feeling triggered because it's so upsetting. If we're working on it a little bit at a time, even if it's just every day we're spending 10 minutes before bedtime tidying the room, that helps our brains so much more. That helps our brains rest more. That helps kids have that routine and know, okay, this is part of this and this is coming up. And I think subconsciously it starts helping them think, okay, I know I'm gonna have to put this away tonight when I clean up, so I might as well, I'm done with it. I can put it away now instead of in the future.
And
Uh,
I'm sorry to take more time away from Colton,
no,
but
you're fine.
get the ideas for motivation. Because I have one child, it'd be like, yeah, no, let's do this. Let's clean. I got this 5 minutes if mom tells me. But
Mhm.
the other one is like, I don't care.
Yeah,
Just throw away my toys. I don't care.
yeah.
The
Um,
other one doesn't care.
Sometimes that's the way it is, and sometimes um, as parents or as people in general, if we can limit the amount of stuff that we're dealing with, because sometimes that's just I'm so overwhelmed that I don't even know where to start and I can't, it's just easier to say, get rid of these things, even though they're my favorite things, because they're just stuff in the way and I want to be able to not do this thing. Um, so starting with less things, whether that's like rotating toys, having, oh, these are the only toys that we have out, and then every month you kind of swap them out.
I love that idea. The rotating just
Um,
requires storage.
yeah,
I do not have.
yeah. Um,
New houses don't come with storage.
I know it's so dumb.
You look at these older houses and they're just like luscious storage. You're like, oh, I could store so much.
Yeah, for sure. Other motivations, I know my kids are really motivated by I want to play video games. I want to watch a show on my thing. So sometimes just saying, okay, I'm going to do this thing, or we're going to do this thing, and when we're done, we get this as a external reward. Sometimes that can be helpful.
Which I think would work with shared spaces. It has in the past, though. I feel that child is pulling more weight than the other child.
Oh,
But
no.
their single space with their rooms, one's just like, I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah. And that's some people tend to be more that way, that the visual clutter doesn't bother them, that even the consequence of losing toys doesn't matter to them because they have so many. It's like, oh, I don't have this, but I have all these other things.
I feel that that child is just like, you get rid of that toy, I'll get another one. Someone will give me another one. It'll be fine. I'll be
Yeah.
fine.
And that's in those instances, I say maybe it's better to um, try and limit the stuff coming in so there's not as much clutter. Um, our brains can only handle something like can only remember and focus on 100 different items at a time. But the average American household has something like 300,000 items in it. So our brains just can't keep track of all of it. And there are some people that are like, oh, I remember everything because it's like, oh, this person gave me this and this person gave me this, and are reticent to get rid of stuff because of that. But if you don't have the visual reminder of it, it just doesn't exist. And so sometimes, like, I'm a big advocate of not buying a bunch of stuff for Christmas, for birthdays, for doing more like activity-based things, going out and doing stuff. because having more stuff is not helpful to us. It helps the economy, I know, but I don't care about the economy. I care about how much stuff I have to go through in my house and other people's houses. And I'm like, you don't need all the things. You don't need to hold on to all of the things. You can let go of the things and the things that are important. With your one that nothing is important, is there anything that specifically that's like, no, this is super important to me?
Yeah,
Okay.
we've got one or two items.
Uh-huh. And
It
the
just
rest of
seems,
it is just fluff.
yeah, I could
Yeah.
probably put it in a box and donate it, and they wouldn't even notice.
Yeah. And that's I'm pretty sure somebody could do that for me, like come in and go through my stuff and get rid of some of my stuff and I'd just be like, "Oh, I lost that. I don't know where it is. I lost that in the move." It's not the end of the world. But I think what all this comes down to is when we understand what we're struggling with and we create a system that works for us, then that works for us and we just keep doing that system. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We don't have to whatever. We can expand it and say, okay, I got this space done. Now I can do this space. I can expand from we're keeping all the shared spaces really clean and organized and have routines there to then getting to kids' bedrooms, can move on from bedroom to bathroom.
Oh, I think Colton has left us.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I was gonna.
Sorry for stealing all his time.
No, you were here first. I think he asked his question and got his answer, and I don't know. Some people come and go.
I got to get going pretty soon too.
Okay. Was that helpful?
Yeah,
Okay.
it does, but it's now like, oh, no, I got to do stuff to happen.
And I think it's really hard with kids because everybody's like, oh, here's a toy for the kid. Like,
They saw this and I like this, so
yeah.
got this for your kid, and you're just like, oh, thank you, that's wonderful.
Uh-huh.
Couldn't you just got us a book or an ice cream cone?
Yeah. And
Done
having
with
those
it.
conversations with family is important too, of saying, like, Bentley's family never got this, but my mom has glommed onto this a little bit more of we don't want stuff. Like, you want to buy my kids' clothes? Great. I would love you forever if you buy my kids' clothes. My mom still buys winter clothes for my kids.
Like my
They want you
sister,
to come.
I love her. I love her to bits. She's helped so much.
Hmm.
She gave me a lot of clothes, and some of it is for my kids to fit eventually. And it's just like now I have to remember that I have it, remember where I put it, get it out when they're that age.
Yeah,
Ooh. But now you don't have to deal with it in your house, so I understand why you're getting.
yeah. And having the clothes eventually will be nice.
It would be nice, but ugh.
Yeah. See, it's a learning experience.
All right.
Okay. Have
Love
fun.
ya.
Love ya. Bye.